Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be talking about the Octominer. This is a 12x Extreme, going over GPU fitments as well as just a general overview of the Octominer. If you think that's interesting, hit like, subscribe with the bell, go to cryptollc.org. If you're looking to buy yourself some GPUs, good time to buy right now, prices are down. Or if you want to set up a ASIC or GPU mining farm, you can take a look at our farm right here, still in the progress of building it out. If you want to build out something like this, go to cryptollc.org. Before we get started, crypto, or more importantly, Bitcoin saves your wealth and Jesus Christ saves your soul. So make sure you have both in your life. All right, let's get started. So we got our Octominer. We're testing this one out. This is basically from a we got these used just to check it out, see how they work. This one was purchased, I think it was on eBay. So we're still negotiating with Octominer for more units. After we check this one out, make sure that it fits the GPUs we want to have on there. We got some EVGA 4013s, some Gigabyte 3 fan 3080s. Make sure everything fits great, it works before we move on and actually get more units. But this is just a test case. So today's video is just going to be going over the the Octominer. So this is a 12 GPU. You can see it has a special connector here. Connects the main board to the 12. Well, not the 12, it's got 2 over here. So it's got 10 of these on this side. So 10 over here, 2 over here, total of 12. Power is coming off of 3 PSUs. Now you can get different configurations. For PSUs you can get the ones where the total wattage is 4200, and that's the one we would recommend, especially if you are mining on 3080s, which is what we're doing. And it's kind of foolproofing your future, where if you want to mine other coins other than Ethereum, mine coins that might use the core and the VRAM at the same time, so you're going to be up on the watts. So make sure you guys get higher wattage for the units there. So in terms of powering, you're going to have this board here, breakout board, coming out and powering all 12 cards. As a standard, they're being supplied by these cords here. So each GPU has its own dedicated. Flip it over to this side, you can have 12 of these for all 12 cards. So you're going to plug them in here. You got 6 and you got 12 right there for all cards. This thing's running off of all 3 PSUs at the same time. The board is also powering basically the rest of the stuff here. The motherboard's coming off here for the SATA. Get your power for SATA, your data cable for SATA. Also, motherboard's getting additional power from the power cord, or from the breakout board up here. You can see the power cords going down under, going into the motherboard. It comes with a general cheap CPU, general cheap RAM. I think it's like 8 gigs. Typical stuff. Get your battery, all that good stuff. Also has NVMe. It looks like it has an NVMe here. That's what it looks like. Again, we didn't really look at that. We're not going to be running on NVMe anyway. Even if it has it, we run everything on SATA. No point of NVMe. SATA is right here. You can actually pull it out. I don't know why would you want to do that. You might as well just turn off the rig and swap out your SATA. And what's the chance you're going to be doing that anyway when you're doing Hive OS? Chance is basically 0. Now, let's go actually to the back and take a look at our power supplies. So here's our 3 power supplies. 1, 2, 3. Here's your general connectors. You got your HDMI, VGA. I don't know why they have this. This is such worthless. I mean, we're not living in 1910 anymore. Get rid of these worthless ports. You're going to be using your USB if you want to plug in a mouse, keyboard, or a USB stick if you have Hive OS on there. Your Ethernet port. So you got everything needed. Most important is you got your HDMI if you need to plug in a monitor and see what's going on at the actual physical location rather than remotely on Hive. So you got everything needed. Then you got your power connectors here. They're all running off of just one final connector at the end over here. So you're going to throw this guy on a 20 amp breaker, 220, 240 volts, whatever you have running. Then you got your cards. Now the cards, I plugged in 2 different scenarios of cards, give you guys an idea of what fits on this Octominer. You can see we got EVGA 4013, See how close they are? If I actually move this over, I'll show you guys how close this is to get an idea if you guys are running like EVGA for the Win 3 farms. But there you go, I lined up the nuts right there. So this is how it's going to be after you finally build it out. If you take a close look, if I give you some angles here, the plastic is very, very close to the other GPU. It's very close. You can actually see better from here. It's very close. It's like a little bit less than half an inch. That's very, very close. And I don't know how that's going to be with airflow, because these fans need to go in between the GPUs and actually have enough force to blow it out here. Now, how is that enough for it? I don't know. It's hard to tell, because again, we're using VRAMs, which is on this side over here. So this side is going to get pretty warm. If it's a 3080, they're inside of next to the core on this side. And if it's 3090, then you have them on both sides. So if you're running this on 3090 for the Win 3 from EVGA, you're going to have VRAMs right here, all around. So you got to make sure that cools off. And if you're only having like a 1/4 inch, that might be a problem. Again, we haven't run the tests. We don't know. That gives you an idea. Now let's go over to the Gigabyte. This is a 3-fan Gigabyte. I'm going to line up the holes again. Where is it at? There it is, and right there. Okay, that's lined up. Now, take a look. You can see you have a little bit more space. It's about like a 1/4 inch more than this one over here. A 1/4 inch more on the Gigabyte 3-fan, which is significant, again, because now you're running like almost a little bit less than double the distance between the cards. Now you can see how long they are. We only have like a finger length here to the fan. So the Gigabyte's 3 fans are almost touching this end over here. For the Win 3s, you got a pretty good distance here. So it gives you an idea. Now I have some other cards. Here's a Gigabyte Turbo. You can see how skinny this guy is. I don't really need to give you a demonstration of that. You can see how much more space a Turbo would have compared to an EVGA for the Win 3. It's going to be like 3x the distance or the size. Look at this comparison to a Gigabyte. It's a huge difference. So for Octominer, I would recommend to get as skinny cards as possible. I'd recommend to do that. Get as thin as cards as possible. Make sure they fit and you have a lot of airflow between each card, so they don't overheat on this side, and then the fans don't get, you know, like messed up airflow around them, and the fans are maybe working too hard or not hard enough, or maybe the airflow is getting in the way of it. Whatever it is, it'd be good to actually have more space between them. Also, on top of that, you don't want the cards to heat up each other. You don't want this card to heat up this one to heat up the next one to heat up the next one, and so on. You don't want like a brick of heat. You want to have that space. So again, we haven't tested it. I don't know how it works, but I highly doubt these for the Win 3s are going to be a good solution. It's just too much or too little space between them. Even the Gigabyte 3 fans, it's still close. It's very close, and it might not be great. I mean, who knows? Leave you guys a comment. Again, this is just a testing rig. We haven't done any tests yet. We don't know. We're going to be testing it out and letting you guys know what works and what does not work. All right. And then lastly, talk about these fans here. So these are your just fans to blow out the hot air. It's additional fans. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. I think these are 120 millimeter fans. General, what are they called? Auxiliary fans. So let's see how they run here. How is their power source being run? Okay. So there's the fans right there. And they're just going in. I think they're plugging into this. Yeah, here they are. Okay, they're plugging into this little board here. And then this little board has a little data connector going to the motherboard. So you should be able to control. There's a lot of actual data information here. Here's the little data cord for the little monitor here. Gives you some general information about the rig. Plug it into the board here, and then going off to the motherboard and reporting that data to Hive OS. So it looks like you can control these. Again, we haven't tested it. We don't know. Most likely you can, and we do have direct communication with their development team at Hive OS. So if anything, if we were to actually switch over to Octominer in the future, we'd actually talk to them about getting more customized information or control for the auxiliary fans. You know, tell them to like kind of shift up and down depending on the VRAM temps and depending on the core temps and stuff like that, making sure that we're not running these too fast or too slow, just enough to keep the VRAM temps at like 95 or 90 non-stop forever, and then also run these as slow as possible so they make as less noise as possible. Alright, well, I hope you guys liked the video. You know what to do, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell, go to cryptollc.org if you want to set up yourself, you want to set up a ASIC or GPU mining farm, or if you want to buy yourself some ASICs. We sell S17s, S19s, S19 XPs, Pros, Miner. We also sell EVGA cards, gigabytes, zotacs. We got 3080s, 3090s, 1660s, and so on. All for sale. Good price to get in. Right now is good price to set up a farm. You get these for MSRP prices, and if you're looking to set up like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 GPU farm, you can actually get them even cheaper. So that's going to be it for this video, and until next time, bye.